and my passport was covered in stamps. I'd run in multiple marathons and a handful of triathlons. I had a good job in sales and marketing. I'd bought a big city condo with money of my own, filled it with all the right things, and with the cash left over, I'd made my first investments. My life was a laser-focused blaze of efficiency and execution designed around being able to answer the question, what's next? One that I spat out on a regular occasion and worked hard to answer with in-your-face boldness. It was a truly obsessive quest. That night, I couldn't shake a niggling sense of dissatisfaction, the idea that I was missing something, that what was next was something more, bigger, better, and different from what I had now. I tilted my head to the sky. A rush of air moved across my face, and goosebumps rose up on my skin. I felt huge flakes of snow land on my cheeks and eyelashes, and watched as thousands of lace doilies fell from the sky. The stars were in hiding, and my predictions from earlier that afternoon had been right. The sheets of rain in Vancouver had traveled north and turned into snow. A lot of it. Thick confetti slammed into the mountains all night long, and when I woke up the next morning, I could barely believe my eyes. Everything in sight was covered in a deep, downy layer of snow, and in a rare trifecta of perfection, especially for Whistler, it was also sunny and bone-bitingly cold. I drank my coffee, made a plan to meet a few friends, and watched as tiny snow crystals floated through the air like fairy dust. I knew we were in for an epic day of skiing. With blue skies cracking open above us and a knee-deep carpet of snow under our skis, we opted for the Whistler side of the resort. More specifically, we hit up an area of the mountain dominated by two fast-moving chairlifts, Symphony and Harmony. From the lift, we could see three massive bowls of untouched powder beneath us, each filled to the brim. All morning, and well into the afternoon, we skied those bowls until we hit their gutters, arriving at the bottom of each run completely and utterly spent. Once there, we loaded back onto the lifts and did it again. We skied hard all day long, harder than hard. My legs were throbbing, lactic acid spread from my quads to my calves, and then finally down into my feet and my tiny little toes. It was a euphoric mix. I was fully awake, but completely exhausted. I wanted the feeling to last. Each chairlift ride was a blessing, 10 minutes of badly needed rest and recovery. I collapsed onto one of them in the late afternoon and leaned back. My feet dangled below me, and my head came to rest on the back of the chair. I looked up into the sky and inhaled deeply, releasing the air as my cheeks turned up in a smile. And then, right there, perhaps because of all that fairy dust, I was struck with a grand idea, a bolt straight out of the shining blue sky. It was the answer to what's next, and the perfect box for me to strike a giant check through. Or perhaps more accurately, it was exactly what was needed to fan all the flames. I immediately announced my idea. "I'm going to do this," I said with confidence. "I'm going to quit my job and ski around the world." I felt a shiver move up my right arm. Silence hung heavy in the air. Other than some light panting, leftover breath from our last run, there was no response. A few moments passed, and the silence was replaced with a light snickering sound, then chuckles, then full snorting. "Good one, Jagger," said one of the guys. "Now that's what I call a fucking pipe dream." "Yeah, what's stopping you?" added my friend Scott before crumpling forward in laughter. Eventually they all chimed in, each taking turns to shoot down what was a truly absurd and apparently comical idea. "Don't you think you're a little young to retire?" one of them said. "You're a good skier, Jagger, but you're not that good." "Sounds nice, but remember that little thing you've got called a mortgage?" It was enough to snuff out the small flame, and it didn't take long for my own voice to chime in. "They're right," I laughed, shaking my head from side to side. "What the fuck am I thinking? I've done big goals, but that's a little much." As we approached the top of the lift, a blue tin sign caught my eye. Ray's restraining device. Another shiver. This one started at the base of my spine
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.